Skype. Доброго дня, шановні друзі. Український кризовий медіа-центр продовжує свою роботу. І зараз наступним брифінгом буде проєкт «Речник мирного життя», який здійснюється за підтримки Міністерства закордонних справ Федеративної Республіки Німеччина. І у нас в гостях сьогодні у студії Анна Лисакова, це керівник проєкту «Зігрій душу», Олена Снісаревська, військовий психолог, і Богдан Морозов, командир взводу на кафедрі військової підготовки при Луцькому національному технічному університеті, сержант запасу. І на Skype включенні у нас доєднається надзвичайний і вповноважений посол України в Угорщині пані Liubov Nepop.
Dear colleagues, we now start our briefing. And now we are giving the floor to Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary Ambassador of Ukraine to Hungary, Ms. Liubov Nepop. We are ready to hear you in our studio. Good afternoon. Not for the first time you speak to our Ukraine Crisis Media Center. Not for the first time you are in the project of Spokesman of Peaceful Life, which is performed by UCMC. And not for the first time you talk about diplomatic mission support to IDPs and children who are victims of hostilities in the east of Ukraine. Thank you for the opportunity to take part in your program. I'm very glad that I can speak today. We have additional outcomes, not only those which I told you about before. The project which I would like to tell you about, and our friends from the project Zigriy Dushu, they will talk more about its details. It was a spontaneous initiation of this project. In July, I had a meeting with one Hungarian businessman. We talked about our potential cooperation. We talked about culture and arts. We organized plenaries for our artists, Ukrainian and Hungarian, and we thought about engaging neighboring countries' artists. And when we spoke about Hungarian and Ukrainian artists' paintings, an association appeared in my mind, how military men who were involved in the project Zigriy Dushu, how they can adapt to peaceful life via arts and to overcome their psychological traumas with the help of arts and paintings. So I proposed to do something together, and as you can see, we met at the end of July, and in October we managed to host the participants of the project. When I met them, when I visited that place, the rehabilitation abroad was for the first time. The main thing is not to stop on our achievements which we already have. So the first group which arrived, I think colleagues will tell more about usefulness of the project. I would like to tell that we now think of organizing the auction of pictures which were painted in the framework of this project. We would like to maintain the issue of counteracting Russian aggression on the top positions in the international community in respect of sanctions on the part of European countries and Hungary. Now the anniversary of Revolution of 1965 is congratulated this year. The slogan is the country which never forgets its heroes. We also should never forget our heroes, those military men who defend our country, and if we contribute our portion, this will help us to win in this war. I have already told you before that we have good cooperation and work with Hungarian stakeholders. We organize rehabilitation for our military men and rest for our children. 800 children stayed in Hungary where they had rest, and now a total of medical treatment of 20 military men from Ukraine. They would be provided medical treatment in Hungary during 2016. So we have another project which we are preparing, but we will talk about it later when it is ready. Thank you very much, Miss Nepop. You really are very active and your work is very significant, and this is really very good thing that Hungarians they demonstrate active attitude. They respond to the problems which Ukraine experience. Many Hungarians, they remember what the aggression means and what does it mean to be the country which is captured, and what does it mean to provide assistance when it is needed. I'm giving the floor to Miss Anna Lysakova, director of Zigriy Dushu project. Good afternoon. My name is Anna Lysakova. I'm a director of Zigriy Dushu project. I would like to say how we started. It was in October 2014. We started with delivery of psychological rehabilitation services to ATO soldiers, but we have been developing, and we became the social adaptation project for military men, combatants of ATO. 21 rehabilitation groups have been provided services. We plan already our activities for the next years, our next steps. Our work now will be even more important in socialization of our young men when they return home, despite of the number of years which part they can't find their place in peaceful life. So we try to help them to find their places. I'm giving the floor to Miss Snisarevska because she knows better what our former military men need to find their place in peaceful life. Please tell us a few words how you have meeting with diplomatic mission in Hungary, how it happened, who offered you this cooperation, this type of cooperation. I would like to thank Liubov Nepop again. It was our first visit to Hungary in this format. The Embassy of Ukraine to Hungary proposed us to conduct this visit, so we provided rest to school children and art therapy. It was in July. We were in Prolisak, and Andrei Park called us and informed us about the opportunity, and in October we already visited Hungary. So it was the embassy who initiated this rehabilitation program. And now we are giving the floor to Miss Snisarevska. Olena Snisarevska is military psychologist of the project. We provide comprehensive support to ATO combatants who now should find their place in peaceful life. The project now goes to the next higher level. We provide not only standard psychological therapy, which relates to psycho-emotional impairments. The war influenced the guys, but they have reached experience which should be some way used in peaceful life. Anna told about our visit to Hungary. We took 4 guys with us to this visit to Hungary. This is a therapeutic positive stress which provides new impressions, positive, provoking positive ideas. He didn't visit Hungary, but he is inspired with our stories about our visit to Hungary. Please tell us, Bogdan, where you served, you served as a combatant in ATO, and what you can tell us about this program. Good afternoon to everyone. First, I will tell you about this program. I am still feeling filled with good positive emotions from the project. I have never met anything like this in any rehabilitation projects. I have not faced so good attitude as in this project. I was called by telephone, I was proposed to join the program, and within 1 week I felt the adaptation to civil life, how it happened. Very many different ways. I have not managed to understand how it happened. How that week passed. It passed as one moment. We painted pictures. Was it your first experience of paintings? It was my first experience of painting. I have passed my pictures for the children so that they develop in this direction. The school children asked me, what for do we need me? But after their first or second picture, they started to understand that this distracts their attention from bad thoughts, that they can just become creators. They create all those good things in life. This provides positive feelings and gives a rest to your emotional state. I like this program for their approach. You are in your own safe group among people who you trust. We talked about all possible topics in the world, and I wanted to stay there. I like to stay there. I can tell you hours and hours about this project. details. The guys were in the project who were combatants in terroristic operation. They are not regular military men, and the guys needs development for the future, because these guys sometimes they don't know what to do. They become very sharp to everything. In the war, you feel that all things are very simple. You have friend and foe. And here in peaceful life, there are many different situations which you may face. Not only friendly or hostile, black and white. So everyone who take part in warfare, they need some psychological support. I heard from Anna that they also established business courses. As for me, I am a fourth-year student of State Fiscal Service. From the very entry to the institute, I was interested in law, judiciary. All the rest of time I help to my father with his farming activities, because he is a farmer. So it would be very useful to find out how European farmers do their farming businesses. And for our military men, it would be interesting not only to have rest and cultural experience going on sightseeing or excursions. They can also learn business. I have question to Olena. How long the course is? How many people do you recreate? Our project provides 1 week program. Despite state psychological rehabilitation, where they provide 3 weeks long course, our project is very saturated. It is comprehensive. We do not have diagnosis. We don't know what we should cure, what disease we should cure. We meet the people who do not need their traumas to be again addressed. We provide them the way forward, positive experience, and we provide them the opportunity to have communication between each other. We do not use classic methods. Our war doesn't resemble any war which happened in the world. We use good Lithuanian best practices. NATO instructors also visit us, but this is only parts of the experience which has been formed. So we try. Whether this helps, we will see with time. I have next question to Anna. What is the algorithm which you use to select people for rehabilitation? How many competence you have already rehabilitated? What are your resources?
So we have 20 people each round. For the 3rd year, we found such an algorithm that it is better to have 15 up to 20 people, because in this case, we have enough time and resources to provide for them in the best way. So for the next year, we plan to have 4 rounds in Ukraine and at least 2 travels abroad. And we address embassies, communities, enterprises, all those who are interested. Maybe they can help with financing, experience. Maybe they want to share their experience with the guys. Maybe their experience in doing business. Maybe some businessman abroad can tell them about their positive experience. You can find us through Facebook, Zigriy Dushu project, and also you can find us on our pages, personal pages. So don't have basis with we are participants from different regions of Ukraine. We have reflex therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, military psychologist, and we all are gathered now in one place, and we have Prolesek and Volynsk Oblast. We are based there this year and next year. Our location will depend on circumstances. So you know that Liubov, Nepop, extraordinary and plenipotentiary ambassador of Ukraine to Hungary, she participates in our program. So could you please tell us how these experiences of traveling abroad, is it really useful for servicemen? Is there really a need to travel abroad, or we can help them here? Greetings to Liubov, if she hears me now, and also greetings to our guys, from our guys. So there is sense in traveling abroad. They go outside Ukraine, they see different life. The majority of people who are in the group, they never traveled abroad. So this is different life, different air, different attitude to life. They see how people behave. Elderly people who can do this, who can just travel. And you know that people here work until the end. So as Lena told us, therapeutic experience is really great. We cannot achieve such a result here in Ukraine. We should do this. So they should travel abroad for recreation, in order to see Europe, in order to bring Europe home, because it's difficult to encompass Europe just watching TV. Thank you, Anna, Bogdan, Olena. So we raised many issues. Is there anything else to add? Liubov, do you hear us? Yes. I wanted to say that you cannot see Europe through the eyes of through TV channels, and there are some moments, some aspects we can bring. I remember our cooperation with energy, and we are Europeans. We are part of Europe. We are integral part of Europe, and psychologically it is very important for us, especially for me personally. It was really interesting that those guys who traveled abroad, they saw that we are part of Europe, and we supported each other. We shared the same ideas and values, and they will go home, and that will help not only to them personally, but also to their counterparts, because Europe is Europe. Europe is Europe everywhere. Liubov, you you are really supportive, and we thank you on behalf of all participants, all the servicemen who were involved in this program, and we wish you health and all the best in your work, and not only in charity but also in diplomatic matters. Thank you very much, and I would like to thank our guys because they defend our state and help us to create these diplomatic successes. So next I would like to give the floor. Maybe you have some questions. Do you have questions? No, there are no questions. So now we end our press conference, and I would like to wish our participants and all the best, good health, and that we wish good health to all the servicemen, and we wish you all the best. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you.